Hey there, it's RBB. I have been told that I got a little long-winded in my Photoshop introduction, so I am going to make a 5-minute short on the quick overview of Adobe Photoshop. I'm going to set my little timer. It's going to beep, 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 and tell me when I'm done, but this is your super fast, in a nutshell, stop talking and get on with it introduction. So here we go. Timer set for 5 minutes. Boop, start. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you open up Photoshop, it will look something like this. Now, your Photoshop won't probably have a document here, but that's okay. Let's say you're brand new and you just Googled, how do I use Photoshop? And this is your 5-minute short because you ain't got no more time. When you open up Photoshop, you're going to see a couple of sections. This is our GUI, our graphic user interface, GUI. At the top, we have our tool tabs. Okay, they're all fairly self-explanatory. File and edit are just like they are in every other program in the world. You're probably going to see things like open and save and find your preferences and things under file and edit. Image will change the image we're working on. Layers will work in, Photoshop works in layers like stack of images. The type is our font control. Select is when you have a selection of pixels. What do you want to do with it? Filter is just that. I want to blur it or do some kind of filter. View is what I'm seeing on my screen, such as rulers or guides or whatever. Plugins are third-party plugins to make it do fancy things. Window is a fabulous tab in case you lose anything. Every single tool set and panel is here if you can't find it. And help is useless. Ignore it. Directly underneath, we have our control panel. Okay, our control panel is right here, and our control panel is going to show the controls for whatever tool is selected. This is our tool set on the left-hand side. So if we were to choose something like our paintbrush, you will see the control panel change to show you the controls you have over that tool. If we chose a different tool, such as like the dodge and burn tool, okay, if we choose the dodge tool here, you will see the controls for the dodge tool. Okay, so these are where our tools are. This is our workspace. This is where all the magic is going to happen. I already opened up a document so you could see. Over here on the right-hand side, we have basically the attributes, such as the more advanced kind of what's going on. It's our colors, it's our layers, it's the property of our tools, the adjustments, all the things that we're doing to make our stuff super fancy. We're halfway through, 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And Photoshop works in layers, so we can work non-destructively, so we don't, so we can always go back and make changes. Now you'll see at the bottom there is no timeline because Photoshop is not a time-based program. Do not use Photoshop for making animated GIFs or animation or anything like that because, yeah, you can, but I can also hammer in a nail with a high-heeled shoe. It's not the right tool. Don't do it. All right, very quickly, how did I get this piece of paper here to play with? Under File, when we go to New, Adobe Photoshop has very conveniently set up a lot of presets for us. So what do I want to do? I'm working in photography, I'm working in print, art and illustration, web, mobile, film, and video, and these are going to have presets that I might want to use. Guess what? This is going to have widescreen, 2K, 4K, 8K. Print is going to have 8.5 by 11. Legal size photo is going to have 8 by 10, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's go back to print for a second and show you what you've got. You can pick our presets, such as 8.5 by 11, standard sheet of paper, boop, hit create, and you will have this fabulous sheet of paper that we've got right here. It is just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I didn't do anything fancy. Here it is at the top, Untitled 2, 100%. Okay. If we want to dial that in a little bit more or know exactly what we're doing, or say you want it to be horizontal, landscape, you can come over here to the preset details, choose your width and height by different measurements, inches, pixels, picas, millimeters, centimeters, all that good stuff. You can choose your resolution, which I don't have time to go over in 5 minutes. You can choose RGB if it's going to be on a screen, such as your television or your phone, or you can choose CMYK if you're going to print it out. Okay, once you've chosen it, here's where you can name it. We're going to name this Steve. Everything is named Steve. Oops, and that's the way I'm calling it today. Call it and say create. And now we have an 8.5 by 11 named Steve in RGB mode. So there you go. That is basically all the everything you've got here. You've got your tool panel, you've got your control panel, you've got your tools here. These are the menu tabs. You've got your different under the hood attributes, okay, of whatever you're doing. And our most important thing here is layers, because we're going to work in layers in Photoshop. So boom, there you go. How long do I have? I have 19 seconds left. I should tell you a joke. Do you know why insects don't get sick? Because they have antibodies. There you go. I am a big fan of dad jokes. All right, well, that's it. That's your 5 minutes. And just to show you it was 5 minutes, you're going to hear the dingy, dingy, dingy. There you go. 5-minute Photoshop interview. I hope that was helpful. Join us for the longer video, and join us for the longer video part 2, where you can actually put all this stuff into practice. See you later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.